Using your pastor as a counselor. Next on the Metal Pulpit. Thanks for joining me. So I'm here at the church that I pastor at. It's a little building, great little facility that we use. And quite honestly, when I meet with people, this is where I meet them. Now we're downstairs in a little bit of a smaller room, meeting room, and it's a good place. And the reason why I'm talking to you from here is that this week, and it goes in spurts, it's just taken off with counseling over and over, different premarital, marital, children, all sorts of counseling issues going on that have started up now and will carry over for probably about 8 weeks as we work through some issues. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about pastors as counselors. I think there's definitely a difference there. In fact, I know there's a difference there. Now, I have no problem when people come to me, and a lot of pastors don't have problems when people come to them and just want to talk, receive some counsel, and things like that. The interesting thing, though, to know about pastors is that a lot of them, they should have some sort of a ministerial degree, and whether that's from a seminary, a Bible college, Bible university, take your pick. There's a ton of them in the United States and abroad as well. But what happens is that people will sometimes, rarely, will go to their pastor for counseling, and when those sessions are done, they feel somewhat of an empty void, like they just didn't get the answers they were looking for. And I have a real easy explanation for this. A pastoral degree does not mean they are a licensed counselor, okay? Now, the joy of that is that you can go to a pastor, and I'm just going to be honest with you. A cool pastor won't charge you for their time, okay, because this is what they do for a living. Premarital counseling, that's a little different. But for crisis counseling, marriage counseling, a pastor should not charge for these times. And like me, I'm licensed through another marital counseling organization, so I use different assessment tools and stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not a licensed counselor. And so if you go to a pastor and say, I need counseling, you can expect good conversation, I hope, respect, authority, grace, prayer, some advice. You can expect these things. But to get down to the nitty-gritty and really discover and get behind what you're dealing with, what a person's dealing with, what a marriage is dealing with, sometimes that takes a licensed counselor. And so that's just something I wanted to throw at you. I realize it's a pretty short Metal Pulpit this week compared to my 9 or 10 minute marathon messages. But I wanted to make that distinction because next time you or somebody you know is in a crisis mode, there's nothing wrong with going to your pastor, okay? There's confidentiality there. There ought to be, but they're not a licensed counselor, and they ought not be viewed as a licensed counselor, and they certainly should not be paid like they are a licensed counselor, because you are getting ripped off if you're paying licensed counselor fees to a pastor who has no degree in being a counselor in a licensed capacity. So shoot me your thoughts, questions, emails right here, pastorbobadams@gmail.com, and would love to hear from you. I'm low on questions, so I don't have any viewer questions this week, and I'd love to hear from you a little more, but you have a great day.